last year, I spoke to a few ex-police officers, all very nice, and they suggested that if I saw anything that was suspicious, that I should make a note of it at the time. So I did. I wrote this down. 24th of June, in the afternoon, 2021, white VW Golf or Polo with apps for NHS written, apps for NHS as the number plate. So the occupants of the car were these three ladies. They turned up for an anniversary, a non-social distancing, non-mask wearing anniversary party for 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon of the 24th of June 2021. As you can see here, their non-social distancing, non-mask wearing party. This was when they were getting out to leave, but they'd been there for 3 or 4 hours, and the 3 people met up with 2 of the 3 people who did the samples of handwriting that I've sent to the hospital, to the different departments of the hospital, pals and everyone in the hospital, the coroner's office and the police. The police I've sent this to maybe 20 or 30 times. So these are the 3 lady occupants of the car, apps for NHS, that turned up on the 24th of June 2021. I've got lots of questions. My questions are, how do the 3 ladies from the NHS car know the 2 people, 2 out of 3, that did the handwriting samples that I've handed into the police and everybody else? How did they know them so well? And what anniversary were they having on the 24th of June 2021? The ladies must be high up in the NHS to have an NHS car, apps for NHS, I would have thought. Now, I've written to the chief executives. One of the chief executives is a woman, so is she driving the car, or is she a passenger in the car? Are they hospital executives? Are they coroners' wives? Are they people who work in the hospital, perhaps in PALS, or perhaps in another department in the NHS, high up? How do they know the people that did the handwriting samples? I find it very suspicious that they came to visit and have a non-social distancing, hugging anniversary party for 3 or 4 hours on the afternoon of the 24th of June 2021, and I find it very, very suspicious that they had the party with the people that I sent the handwriting samples into all the different departments and to the police 20 or 30 times. Apps for NHS. You'd have thought it'd be an easy number to trace, so when I sent it to the police and everything, you'd have thought they'd have been able to trace this really easily. And you'd have thought with the photographs that I sent, obviously I didn't cover the photos when I sent them to the police, to the hospital and to the coroner's office, so I'd have thought these ladies would be easy to trace. I have lots of the pictures of the 3 ladies in the NHS car who visited the people who did the handwriting samples that I've handed into the hospital and the police and everyone. I just thought I'd video what I wrote down, just make it easier so everyone can have a little look and see. You'd think that they'd have more sense and perhaps wear a mask or not be hugging and doing the social distancing thing like everyone else does, but they don't seem to be. Again, I wrote a little bit down. So the chief medical officer, the chief executive, said they wouldn't look into this any further. The coroner's office said go through the hospital. The police said because the coroners have made their decision, they wouldn't take any further action. So my questions to the hospital: who are the 3 ladies? Do they work for the hospital, or are they chief executives, or wives, or someone high up in the hospital, or coroner's office or coroner's office wives. Question 2, how do they know the people that I sent all of you, the police, the coroner's office, the hospital, the 3 handwriting samples? Why did they come and meet the 3 people who wrote the 3 handwriting, well, 2 of the 3 people who wrote the 3 handwriting samples? Why did they come and meet them for a 3 or 4 hour anniversary party on the 24th of June 2021? Just thought I'd put down a question. So yeah, these are the questions. These are on a minute video, which I'm putting up as well, but I'm just asking the questions out loud. So, how come I'm not allowed to report the 4 days that my mum was in hospital? I have proof of all the different change dates and all that sort of thing, but nobody's looking into it. So I'm just asking the questions out loud. Question 2, how do they know the people that I sent all 3 handwriting samples? Question 3, what kind of anniversary were the NHS ladies celebrating with the handwriting sample people? Celebrating on the 24th of June 2021. My mum mysteriously died on the 24th of May 2018. I was there when I saw my mum. I had to go into the room and say my goodbyes to my mum on the 24th of May 2018. And these people turn up on the 24th of June 2021 to celebrate an anniversary. It's just weird, isn't it? So yeah, I was there, and I was in the room for 10 or 15 minutes to say my goodbyes. And as I left the room where my mum's dead body was, my friend, who's the site manager of RD&E, Robin Lingward, as I was leaving the room where my mum's dead body was, stopped and tried to talk to me on the day that my mum died. And she was so kind, and I was so upset because I'd been sitting in the room saying my goodbyes to my mum, and I was so upset as I was leaving, and I was probably bawling my eyes out. And so I was trying to make me excuses. It was like 4:30 in the afternoon of the 24th of May 2018, and she was so kind. And later on at 6:47 p.m. she sent me a letter to say how sorry she was to see me so upset in the hospital. And she sent me the message on Facebook Messenger, and I put the message on Facebook Messenger onto everything that I've sent to the police, and I've put it onto the playlist and everything else. And then this car on the 24th of June 2021 turns up, and I find it very strange that these people know the people that did the handwriting. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it, that the people did the handwriting. I'm not allowed to ask any questions. The hospital, the coroner's office, everyone still says that my mum died on the 28th, and on the 28th I was doing something else. I was building my polytunnel, and I've got the pictures and all that sort of thing. I got all those messages from different people on the 24th to say, sorry, your mum just died at 4:15 on the 24th of May, and yet everything in the hospital paperwork and everything says it's the 28th of May. I just think it's I think it's an awful and weird, suspicious coincidence that this car should turn up to visit on the 24th of June 2021 to visit the people who wrote the 3 handwriting samples, which I've handed in to the police, the hospital, the coroner's office, everyone. It is very suspicious. So who are the 3 ladies? Do they work for the coroner's office? Are they coroner's wives? Are they? I'm not saying who they are because I don't know who they are, but I should imagine that the police would find it very easy to look up who they are, because their car's here, and I've sent them, the pictures are here of these 3 ladies, and yet I'm still not allowed to report it, and the hospital and everyone is still saying that my mum died on a different day to the day that she died. and they're saying that she died on the 28th and she died on the 24th. It's nonsense.